we were just kids in a candy shop, really pouring through and putting all our favorite moments in, and we realized we had enough at that point for a few movies, not just for one, and kept pushing stuff off and off so that the audience could go on a real journey on the first one, but not necessarily, we can't give away everything at the beginning.
That's fantastic. And then Geoff, I think when this property started moving forward toward Hollywood at different points, we heard a lot of different ways that the movie might have ended up, talking about some of the past projects. And then as far as you're involved, tell me, how did you feel when you heard about some of the other ideas, like Green Lantern as a comedy, or maybe some of the other things?
Well, one of the very first, when I first worked for Richard Donner, one of the first things we talked about was Green Lantern, and that was about 10 years ago, and somebody, one of the executives who's no longer there said, "Can we do the movie without the ring?" And right then I thought, there's never going to be a Green Lantern movie. So 10 years later, to see it evolve and maybe misinterpreted as a comedy at one point, and to get to hear and see someone like Martin Campbell and the cast here tackle Green Lantern with the respect and the power, it's a dream come true.
That's fantastic. And then Ryan, tell us a little bit about the shoot. You guys have been in New Orleans. I know it's kind of sticky hot.
Yeah. Yesterday's weather report was actual fire. It's a warm place. I mean, it's tough to shoot some of the action scenes outside. I mean, but to be down there in Louisiana, this has been such a state that's been pretty embattled as of late. It's actually fantastic to be there and to be bringing this kind of attention to that place. And I think there's nobody here that would disagree with that. But they've been so welcoming for us there, and it's just been an amazing experience. We have about 3 weeks of shooting left to go down there, so God willing, we'll get through it. Yeah.
I know on the home front, your wife is a Marvel character, and I think we're all wondering, does that cause any sort of domestic strife or tension?
We've had some strongly worded dinners. No, I said this before, but we've probably got a lot more comic books lying around than your average married couple. That's for sure, but maybe not in this room. I don't know. Us hands down. Yeah.
And Blake, tell us a little bit about your character. Carol Ferris through the years has changed. There's different versions of her. For you and this film, what are some of how would you frame her as a person?
Well, Carol Ferris, she's such an exciting woman to play because oftentimes the man is saving the woman, but she gets to save Hal a few times. And they're a bit of rivals. They have this past, this love, but they also, they're competitors. So to be able to spar, just like verbally, and then also to be shooting these scenes where we're in these fighter pilot planes, I mean, that was pretty cool. I was so excited. I felt like I was going to be the coolest aunt ever. That was the best part of getting this job. Just calling my nephews. And, this film is so unique in that, there's something that you can actually do in real life, like pilot a plane that these young boys or whoever can look up to, but then you also see them in outer space, flying around. It's just been a wonderful project to be a part of, and to be able to be a strong woman who then becomes a villain later. I can't wait to kick his butt.
Fantastic. And Peter, Hector Hammond isn't pure evil in this film. He's a guy that is pulled down a particular path by what happens to him. That probably makes him more interesting for you as an actor.
Yeah, I was very interested in the fact that he had his own origin story in the movie, and to be one way and become another way. I think a lot of times you get what he becomes is always just kind of an expression of what he had inside of him all along. They're not like two different things necessarily. But I don't know, I remember telling Martin quite early on that I felt like he was the kind of kid that licked the battery or went up onto the roof with a coat hanger during a thunderstorm, stuff like that, just to see what stuff felt like and looked like. And that was always kind of the most important thing to me. He's a biologist and particularly interested in like extremophiles, animals that live at the bottom of the ocean in the Mariana Gulch, or even just penguins, as a way of understanding what might exist elsewhere. And of course he gets his opportunity to see up close in the movie.
You know, we're going to take some questions from the audience in a second, and I'd like to remind you all, please make sure your questions end in a question mark. No proposals, no pitches, no threats. You know, hey, how you doing? We'll go ahead. I didn't realize it was there. Okay, go ahead.
Hello, C.T. McLean here. My question is to Peter Sarsgaard. What got you hooked to this project and to the character that you're playing?
What got me hooked? Well, I came in one day and talked to Martin, and Martin told me what the story was, and quite smartly told me the story through the eyes of my character. You know, it's such a great way to first see something. And, you know, it just felt like an amazing arc, a great journey for a character to start out one way and end another way, and that's all you really ever want.
Hey, how you doing?
How's it going? Yeah, I think the Green Lantern Corps is such a large cast of characters, and they're all so fantastic. How did you pick the focus for the film? What characters to feature for the story?
Greg, Martin?
Somebody?
I mean, it's you know, the characters they really focused on, Kilowog, Tomar Ray, Sinestro. Those characters make sense in the history of Hal Jordan, Kilowog being his drill sergeant, Sinestro's mentor, Tomar Ray, his spiritual guide. And then beyond that, it was really up to the production team picking the characters like Stel and Green Man and Biz that they thought were cool. And they're all cool, so we're all cool.
The Green Lantern from Sector 79210.
Brightest day to you all. For Geoff Johns, could this be the beginning of a shared DC universe on film? Thank you.
There's going to be a lot of DC projects coming up, but I can't talk about them here. Sorry. Maybe.
This question is for Mark Strong. Will your character in this movie kick ass?
Say that again, sorry.
Will your character in this movie kick ass?
He certainly will, yeah. As Hal's mentor, we have an interesting time together because I feel like Sinestro feels like it's his duty to train him up because he doesn't believe that a human can possibly be a member of the Corps. So I shall do my best to, as you say, kick ass.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, my face is so big. Okay, my question is for Ryan Reynolds. Did the production company come to you, or did you go to them? And my friend Anna wanted to say hi.
Hi, Anna. But I'll answer the question part. I was asked to, if I wanted to have a meeting with Martin Campbell, and I went and sat down with him, and like I said before, I didn't know that much about the Green Lantern character, but he introduced me to the world, and the thing that he did, the little bit of emotional kung fu he put on me, was that he took me upstairs and took me into the art department of the film, and he showed me what the worlds look like, and what Oa looks like, and what the suit's gonna look like, and at that point, the tables had turned entirely, and I was begging him for this job. And at first I sort of, I guess arrogantly thought, oh, I'll just go in there, and if they want me for it, I'll consider it. But what I didn't realize is that they had every intention of making me work for it in every way, shape, and form. I screen tested a couple of times, and I'm glad I did, because I want to be as right for this character as they do, and I want to make sure it's a good fit. And I think what really pushed it all over the edge for me was I saw this guy who sort of is seemingly arrogant and cocky right off the bat in the film, and how he's given this extraordinary gift, which in turn is incredibly humbling for him. And I thought that was a really interesting arc for a character, and particularly in a superhero film.